Tonight's shave is going to be with a Nacet blade. Look at that, 8 times. So 9 times is what this blade will be registered at after this shave. We're going to go ahead and dunk this in some water prior to the shave. A whip dog boar knot. It's got some, doesn't have a lot of backbone. It's very comfortable for me right now. I'm really liking that part of it. And let me show you what we've done so far. This is what we did yet last time. I did a really slow drizzle load where I used a really kind of moist brush, just a damp brush, and then slowly added water, and then the lather looked encouraging, at least when it was built on the brush. It wasn't airy on the brush or anything like that, but then once I got it to the bowl, it started getting all airy. Well, today is different. Today I decided to bloom the soap for longer. I tried a 6-minute bloom. This is going on about maybe by the time I use it, it'll probably be a 20-minute bloom. I just decided to go to an extreme. The razor Blackland dart, it's already got the Nacet blade loaded in from yesterday. Because see, what happened yesterday was the lather looked really good at first, and then we got it into it looked good on the brush, and then when I started mixing it in the bowl, it just got all airy and too dry. And so I'm like, but then what happens is I see that it's not going to work, so I go back to the tub for some more lather, for some more soap. And at that point, the soap that brings into the whole mix, that's perfect soap. And I was able to, actually, the stuff that mixed in the bowl, I was able to just kind of not even use it. And just the 10 seconds that I loaded up from the from the puck was what I basically shaved 3 passes with. So that's why I'm going with the longer soak today, just to see what happens. Okay, so today we'll try the long soak, and we'll try the moist, the dry-ish brush technique as well. All right, so I want to get my face a little wet. Not quite 24-hour shave, but pretty close. 24 hours of growth, probably at 22 hours. I have hard water. It's cool, very bracing right now. Probably it's got the AC in it right now from being in the walls. Okay, so I'm going to take and pour off the bloom water. Let a few more drips go, and that's the way it looks. Then I'm going to take my Boar brush. This handle is from Shave Forge. Whip as much of the water out of this as I can. And let's just try like a 30-second load. Okay, there's 50. So that's 10 seconds. You know what? Let's go for 40-second loads. We're going to go all the way to 30 seconds just to see, you know. And there we go, 40-second load. And that lather looks pretty good. Because it's been an open container, the scent has dissipated over, it only took about 3 days for that scent to become a non-issue. The first couple days it was a little obnoxious. It's a citronella scent. If it's light enough, then I associate it more with just a clean soap. And it has become that maybe in the first 3 days. after 3 days. All right, so now Dollar Tree melamine lather bowl, or melamine bowl, and I'm using it as a lather bowl. And we're just going to add water really slowly, because what we want is that creamy lather instead of the bubbly, airy lather. Okay, I'm going to load up my syringe of, it's a medicine dropper. It makes it easy to add water. Just going to add a little bit at a time and see how it grows here. There's a lot of people. I was talking to somebody today who never blooms their soaps, and that is okay. But I'm also willing to think that maybe blooming one's soap might be the right technique for some soaps. I know that Saponificio, if I'm saying that right, Veracino, they advise you to actually pour boiling water over their soaps and let it sit there for a little bit. So we'll just see how this guy ends up. So that was a 40-second load. So I'm looking, I already know how to get a good creamy lather from Williams. Okay, this looks better. This looks better than the previous few days. I already know how to get a good lather from Williams. It just takes a little bit, and I'm trying to discover the quicker, more efficient way to it, a simpler way. Now here's the thing, when I started this out, I was thinking that Williams may be a great choice for people as an inexpensive soap, as a budget soap. But I just kind of learned maybe today that just pure by price, there's a soap called Cella. It's an Italian soap that's been around for a very long time, over 100 years. I really enjoy it. But you can buy it by the 1 kilogram block. And it's not a hard soap like this one, but it's a crope combination cross between a cream and a soap. You can squeeze it between your fingers. You can use a spoon to shovel it into a different container. And so that's Cella, C-E-L-L-A. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it on major shaving product suppliers, Maggard, razors, you know, that kind of thing. You can get it on eBay. That 1 kilogram block costs about, I think usually you can get it for $29 pretty easy. And that is probably the best deal out there in terms of soap, because it lasts a good while. You know, one of these pucks only lasts a month. But that whole big, and so that means that like 12 of these pucks is you know, let's say you find a deal and you get them for $20 total. Well, that 1 kilogram thing is going to last you for a few years, a couple of years of daily shaves, is my guess. And that's probably the way to go. And it's a much nicer, easier lather to put together. Smells great. It's got this kind of cherry, almond, marzipan type smell. Yeah, see, this lather's looking a lot better. It's very voluminous. Doesn't have much sheen. Let's do a little finger test. A little area that I might like, but yeah, that's kind of on the thin side. But it's got just a little bit. It's very slick though. A little bit of cushion. So you know what? I might just stop right now. Just stir it for a little bit more. And so that Cella, that big old 1 kilogram block, you know, that's like $5 more than some of the premium soaps, and you end up getting 10 times as much in terms of quantity. So it's just the buy, you know, it's the way to go. Yeah, this is firming up. I like this. This is getting more dense as I'm working it, maybe getting out some of the air bubbles. I have my camera pointed a little too high. I like to aim low with my head kind of touching the top so that you have a better chance of seeing the lather bowl. One of these days I'm going to just do a face lather with the Williams, and it'll probably go really well. I think it works well that way. All right, now look at that. This may be the jackpot right here. Okay, I'm going to grab a little sample in the middle of this area. Oh, see, there you go. It's got a little bit more cushion than before. Nice slickness. I do feel my fingerprints a little bit, but it's just really slick. And just enough cushion. This is probably the way to go right here. 13 minutes. Yeah, this is cool. Might be what I've been looking for. Interesting. So I was trying the non-blooming approach, but I let it bloom for almost 20 minutes, and it was easy to whip it together. I came at it with just a damp brush, barely damp. It had been soaking for a few minutes. And then I just did a load, 40 seconds, I think. Nothing complex. Nothing complex. I just bloomed it ahead of time. Now, I think what happens sometimes, if a person takes their brush and they do the thing where they dab the water out, but they still have maybe 2 teaspoons of water in the brush, when they go right to that puck, it just instantly foams up into the light stuff, and you got to throw that away. So that's why I didn't come to the puck with any of that in the brush. That's why I slung it all out. All right, let's see how it feels. Gonna get my face wet. Now, here's the next question is, how quickly then can I get to this lather? Is it always going to take 13 minutes? Of course, that was me showing you, that was me demoing a bunch of stuff, so you could even say maybe this is a 10-minute lather. Some people's whole shave, and I've done whole 3-pass shaves that were only 10 minutes. But, all right. So question then is, how quickly can I then add the water? Can I add it all at once? Is that too much? Will that cause it to get all airy? Oh yeah, see, look at this. This is good. So, the secret to this one is just the blooming, because without the blooming you don't get the soap onto your situation. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of water to my brush here, because it looks like it needs it. Maybe Williams doesn't like to be lathered in a bowl. Or maybe this brush just doesn't do it very well. Something like that. Because this is pretty dense right here. Of course, it's possible that I don't need to do the 40 seconds of loading. Maybe I didn't mix it quite enough. Who knows? We'll try some different variables next time. Lessen the load time, something like that. Looks great. I don't have quite the same tingle. Yeah, I mean, look at that. That's terrific. I don't have the same tingle that I've gotten before, and I think that was just the air bubbles popping. That's what that was, because I don't have it now. Here comes the Nacet. Inside the Blackland dart, I believe I can tell that it's not as slick as it has been in the past, as it was yesterday. That's probably because this lather is just a little too dry. So we'll just be careful with the shave. Maybe not load as much next time, something like that. And I bet it will be improved on the second pass. Just watching my angles, my pressure. Certain parts of my skin do a lot better if I come from certain angles, so that's what I come from certain directions. So that's what I'm paying attention to right now, since I don't have as much glide as I usually do. So just because it's the kind of the density you want, that doesn't mean it's as slick as you want it. There we go, first pass down. Get face wet. Leave some water on there. Just take that brush that I showed you. Go at it. I can always go back in and get some more lather. But by the time I work the water that was onto my face into my lather, who knows, it might be just right. Comfortable brush. Plenty of lather here. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take some of it and scrape it off the sides of the brush so that I don't have to deal with quite so much lather on my face. And there we go. Yeah, see? if you look at my neck, you see these kind of bumps and stuff? That's usually a good indicator that it's a little on the thick side. So I'm going to take a little bit of water, kind of dip my tips in it a little bit, kind of mix it around, see if I can smooth this lather out. See, I just loaded too long. See, sometimes loading long is a great thing to do when you don't know what to do about your lather. You just load it for a little bit longer. It's a great way to overcome hard water. Just load a little bit more soap. But sometimes it means that you now are stuck with a mix that's too soapy and too dry and it doesn't get slick. It doesn't adhere to your skin as well as it could. I want to do that one. I'm going to scrape some of this soap away off the brush. Drizzle a little bit more water on the brush. Do it one more time, and I bet that'll be nice. So yeah, next time maybe I'll do the same thing, but maybe stop at 30 seconds like I was kind of planning to do. I just didn't want to do underneath. I didn't want to not load quite enough. There we go. See, that's less blotchy than it was before. And I've still got, look at all that thick lather. Still got plenty of lather left over. Bring my handle angle toward my face a little bit. It makes the dart behave a little better. That's what I need to do on my second and third passes, is keep the handle angle in, and then my neck is comfortable with no problems, no irritation. I consistently have gotten no irritation. Light touch here on the neck. My neck hairs go sideways, so this is a cross grain pass. Hold it very loosely so that if I hit a bump or something weird, the razor doesn't grind into my skin. And I do short strokes so that with each stroke I can evaluate the sound I hear, the cutting that I feel, so I can reevaluate and adjust my angle. All right. Very good. That felt great. Now that was a slick pass, not like the first one. First one was too dry. Lather was too dry. Great slickness and creaminess coming off my face right there. All right. Shouldn't have dabbed it off. Let me put some water back on my face. It's kind of a habit sometimes. All right. Third pass. I got that goatee to work around. Some of you guys don't. go. It's a good looking lather. It's adhering to the face well. This is my third pass and I'm going to be done. Not going to use any of this lather probably. After it's bloomed, I wouldn't be surprised if a 15 to 20 second load is all I needed. Really happy with this shave. And that is what this month is all about, is finding this. So this blade's doing great inside this. This is the 9th shave. I think this ties the number of shaves that I have put on one blade. I think a silver blue, a Gillette silver blue, I took to 9. And I was behaving really well, and I could have kept going. But I had a whole assortment of blades waiting on me. And so I stopped at 9, and I knew it could go further. This has been very, oh, I got a little twinge right there. I wonder if my angle wasn't quite right. I don't know if it'll turn into something red or not. Doesn't feel like it anymore, but we'll see. And there we go, shave's done. How much water did we use? I had to bring in more water because I just had too much soap. And so that's why I had to bring in more. So I ended up using more than my 2 teaspoons that I've been usually using. Well, that's terrific. So 40-second load is plenty. That's probably enough for 2 guys to do a full shave. I'm going to pause you while I do a rinse. This is a great result. Very good result. I see a few tips with the tiniest bit of length that I almost don't even see it. I have to look really hard. By and large, it's just everything's cut flush, and you just see the very end tip of the dot of the hair coming inside the follicle there. So big success. Really happy with this shave. Comfortable. Don't feel any irritation. Let's go ahead and slap some of this. What I'm using all month for Austere August. This particular fragrance is a little on the lady side, so if you like that kind of stuff, then hook yourself up with it. Afta Fresh. It's not very expensive, and so I might pick up the original, whip it out every once in a while. Seems to, I'm going to check online and see if, I don't know what harmful ingredients or, kind of filler type ingredients that the big companies are putting in balms like this, gels and stuff. And so I'll run it by some people who know and just make sure. There we go. That's all there is to that. That's a good shave. Now what am I going to do with all this lather? How about that? It's nice. It's slick. It's got cushion. This is what I was heading for. This is what I've been trying to find. So I've been changing variables all week long. And here it is right here. Scent is minimal, so if you don't like that citronella, I don't think you're going to have a problem. I mean, it's just a light soapy scent to me. Not a bother at all. Now, now that I've kind of figured out that maybe Williams is not the best deal out there. I think Arko might rival Cella as maybe the best deal because I've heard
You know, those are like you can get those pucks for like $1.50 sometimes, the Arko stick. And then that thing will last. I've heard somebody say it lasts 2 years. It's so hard. Gives a great shave, but it's got this nasty industrial lemony scent that some people cannot stand. And I don't really like it very much. I've got a couple of Arko sticks. But if I would have had the ability to choose between the Arko, that would have been in my lineup for Austere August, just because so I could just learn it, use it, all that. A lot of people like it, and so it must not be too difficult to get into a good lather. It's a hard stick, so you can grate it, kind of like I did this Williams, into whatever container you want if you don't want to use it in stick form. With a stick, in case you don't know, you get your face really wet, and then you take the stick, and it's a cylinder, you know, about as thick as this handle, and you peel back the paper, and you just kind of rub the stick all over your face. And I'm thinking you want to try to cover everything about 4 times is about, maybe that might give you the right amount of soap. 1 time is not enough. 2 times I don't think is enough. And then you take your wet brush and go at your face. And that lather just starts to build and build and build. And that's how you can, one way to do it with the stick. All right. And then enough gets on your brush to where you don't have to go back and put the stick on again, because it's enough's on your brush to just go ahead and use the brush like a normal face lather. All right. So nice, a good long soak, and it did Williams really good. No irritations. That little twinge over here didn't turn into anything. It was just maybe a little catch or something like that. The Nacet blade does not seem to be slowing down. I mean, if it is, it's by a very small degree. So this is day 7, so that's 1/4 of the time. So I bet it's going to go the whole time. Just got to watch my technique. Try to keep it at the right angle so that the blade doesn't do any more work than it needs to. I'm going to clean up and I'll be right back. So that was just a delight. Yeah, too much soap, so I'll reduce the load time. I don't think I'll change anything else. That was good. The scent is fine. It's just a clean soap. Smelling my brush at the end of the shave. I'm spreading out the bristles to help with drying. We want to keep it as dry as we can. But smells good, smells clean on the brush. I'm really happy with that. Irritation gone. I mean, there wasn't any. And so, very, very nice. This is where I wanted to land, and I'm glad I got here as quickly as I did, just a week. Some frustrating days there, as it was just so airy. And I think that my previous attempts that were successful, I think they involve longer load times, longer soak or bloom times, where you just let that water really get into the soap. And so when it comes time to put it on the brush, it does it with some thickness to it. All right, happy camper. Very nice. Day 7, 1 week down. Austere August. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. I hope there was something here for you. It was a great shave for me, and so having finally landed on something might be good for you too. If you're catching this. Take care. Have a good night.